social psychology yesterday. The turnout was very good, and today many of the students haven't yet come. I expected minimum 10 should come so that we'll start.
Yes, ma'am, we can wait for 5 more minutes. Can we?
Yes, we can, because it will be very boring if the students are not there
Yes, ma'am.
when I'm going to talk. Anyway, we will be talking about the experimental research today. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
I think it's already 2:40, so we should start. Let them come in their time, and we should start our program now.
Yes.
So we were talking about the beginning of experimental research, where we will discuss today. Yesterday I just started it. I gave you the little introduction about the experimental research, and I even talked about the experiment of Alpert. I think that is the only thing I discussed with you, and today we'll proceed. Even I'll repeat that again. I talked to you about Alpert's experiment, where Alpert pointed out that, excuse me, Alpert pointed out he studied the experiment was on the individual. The individual's behavior he studied. It was working with the individual alone. Okay, the individual was tested alone, and the same individual was in another group tested when he was observed by a group of people, or even in another case, he was a part of, he was doing his independent work. The same work was done, the same experiment was, the assignment was he was doing, but he was being working with other people. Here he found out that the same activity which did, he found that the latter condition, that who was interacting or who was being observed, the performance of that particular person, it was improved. It was better than the person who was doing it alone. And this activity, he talked about the improved performance which he was doing, is known as social facilitation. This is due to the social facilitation effect. That means the social condition, when you individual is working, someone is working or someone is doing some experiment, when he knows that I am doing it alone, no one is there to see me, the person becomes little, the response is different from that when he knows that the people is being observed by others. So when one is observed or when one is with others, you will find this social facilitation factor, the social interference or the social activities that the individual is having in a group, that effects which is known as social facilitation factor. In 1924, Alpert, he published the first social psychological textbook making extensive use of experimental research. Mostly because we are talking about the experimental research, you'll find that the experimental research, it was the whole process was initiated by Alpert as well as Lewin. And you'll find subsequently Alpert's publication were marked by systematic investigation in the field areas as the development of attitude measurement. In social psychology, you must have read attitude measurement, social norms, aggression, leadership, and social influence and conformity. These are some of the social activities which were studied by Alpert. You will find Newcomb in 1930, he assessed the social and political attitude of some of the college students. Social and political attitude of college students who were there in the college, they studied how the environment, as you know, in colleges, they go for college election and all that. So he wanted to study how the college is influencing the individual's behavior. And he found out that the behavior, whether it was modified or the attitude were modified by the views of prevailing the college. That is the peer influence, how it was being modified. Muzaffar Sarif in 35, he studied the nature of impact of social norms. He studied how the social norms gets influenced. All these social psychologists, their main emphasis was how the society is playing a crucial role in shaping your personality, shaping your or behavior. That was being studied by different social psychologists. In another experiment, you'll find Dollard, Dabo, and Miller, they demonstrated the relationship between frustration and aggression. Frustration and aggression, sometimes we get confused what is frustration and what is aggression. Often you'll find when a person is frustrated and little bit of stimulation, maybe some kind of instigation to the individual when one is frustrated, it will help in aggravating it to the aggression. The individual shows aggression. So frustration is often it leads to aggression where the individual is being instigated. From the earlier thought and group mind, the depersonalization, social psychological theories of period emphasize the overriding importance of individuals' thoughts and understanding. In 1948, a revolution got underway to social psychology, like the precursor for the change was the establishment of research center for group dynamics. This particular study was done in MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, where you will find that Levin, he was a field study and a social, he is considered as the father of social psychology, and you will find he was working there in MIT. So he, as the father of, he was considered as the father of applied social psychology. The experimental work, due to the effect of Carl Lewin, put social psychology as a science in a more advantageous position because Lewin did a lot of studies. A lot of studies are being done by Lewin, and that is why it is known as that he he in a way he lifted the scientific concept in social psychology. Here you will find that there are many things. The real problem of the society, you will find skillfully conducted laboratory research created a distance between the social reality and the topic under investigation. Here it was began to realize, he realized that skillfully conducted laboratory experiment which was being done, research created a distance between the social reality and the topic under investigation. Often it so happens, it is a social, in social condition, if we put something like the experimental situation and we take it to the laboratory situation, often you'll find that the originality, that the reality, and in a social situation, how it should be responded, it loses its true sense. In the sense that when we take a social context into an experimental lab, its its basic idea, it is lost in the lab. Very often it so happened. That is why I'll find the experimental research by the theoretical knowledge, it was being challenged. Many psychologists, they contributed significantly by the theoretical explanation in the areas such as conformity and the attribution theory. In this decade, social psychology was brought closer to the cognitive psychology, dealing with the thought, judgment, and decision making. When we talk about cognition, you'll find often we are emphasizing on the thought process because thinking is the main thing which helps you in solving various problems. Your attitude, your personality, your judgment, your decisions, everything depends upon your thinking process. And that is why you'll find that in this decade, the social psychology was brought closer to the cognitive field. Then comes the middle range theories. Coming to the middle range theories, you'll find the social psychological theories tend to be specific and focused rather than global and general. You will find in social psychology, when we say that we are emphasizing the social psychological theories tend to be specific and focused rather than global and general. When we say, the other day I talked to you that if you do an experiment in physics or in chemistry, the experiment which is true in Bhubaneswar will also be true in Delhi, in Switzerland, in California, and in every other part of the world. But social concept is such a concept which you can see that it cannot be generalized. Like the culture is important. Suppose something, a particular trend which is found in the Indian context, it may be true. But when you take that concept to some other country, you will find the concept may lose its significance.
Yes.
Like when I'm talking in India, suppose two girls are walking, two friends, they're walking, they hold each other's hand. We don't mind it. In India, we don't take it as offense. In Western country, if you are holding another girl's hand, they take it as offense. They'll take it otherwise. So there are many things which cannot be generalized across societies. And that is what is very important in social context. Here you will find that the field theory of living is often considered a model of middle range theory. That is why we never say it is, we consider most of the social science experiments are middle range theories. The greater part of social psychological theories existing today, theories of frustration, aggression, changes of attitude, cognitive dissonance, cooperation, and competition, etc., they are all very important in one's, they have its importance in the existence of the theory. All these things belongs to the bracket of middle range theories. These topics we discuss, somebody's frustration. When we talk about frustration, this same thing, something which is frustrating in our country, may not be that frustrating in another country. Like in India, when we are rearing our children, what is our priority? Our priority is you eat, you play for a given time, and then you study. Education and study is the main criteria in our society, right? Because we give too much weightage to education, and we give too much importance to your study, whereas you'll find in other community they don't give so much of weightage, because a child is free to decide what he likes, whether the individual would like to read, or the individual would like to become a player, a singer, anything one can be. We give least priority to other activities, that is the extracurricular activities we give, compared to study. Academics comes first, and then comes other thing. That is what is very important. These are all cultural difference. In India, we are very much concerned about the education, about the teaching of our children. So you will find that we cannot generalize these things across culture. You will find aggression, change of attitude. Attitude varies from person to person because of the culture where we are living in. We develop our attitude accordingly. Cognitive dissonance, cooperation, and competition, etc., they are all part of these theories. At present, the theories of middle range are mostly concentrated around four trends. There are four different trends, various trends, where all these middle range theories are based upon. The first one is, you must have studied in your graduation these things, the behaviorism. Then comes psychoanalysis. The third one is cognitivism. And the fourth one is interactionism. Now, what do you understand by behaviorism? As you know, the behavior of the individual, we give too much emphasis on the behavior. Now, can it be modified? Is it something which is inborn? It is you are gifted with your behavior? No. This you learn from the environment. So all these psychological processes, the theories are mostly based upon things which are being influenced by the society. So the behaviorism, it deals with the behavior of the individual. Coming to psychoanalysis, as you know, the individual's interpretation, the individual's feeling, the individual's reaction to various things, they are different from person to person. That is what is psychoanalytical thing. Often when we go to psychoanalysis in detail, you'll find the early childhood experience is very, very important in life. When we are rearing our children, we give weightage to the development of children in their early stage. Often people, they believe that children do not understand anything. They do not understand the environment. That's a very wrong concept. You must understand, because you people are future father and mother of this society. You must understand that a child is not ignorant about the environment. The child is very much conscious. Maybe 100% the child doesn't understand, but the child can understand whether the environment is secure for the child or not. The first and foremost thing for a child is that the environment where the child is reared must be conducive, must be comfortable for the child, and it must be secure for the child. Suppose any traumatic experience comes in the childhood, that may shape, that may take a place in the behavior, and that subsequently in the later part may create some kind of psychological problem, which can only be studied by psychoanalytical process. The third thing which you find is cognitivism. Repeatedly from the beginning, I have been talking about cognitive theory, cognitive behavior, and cognitivism is, we give too much weightage to the individual's thought process, the individual's higher psychological processes. These are known as the cognitivism. Now, the cognitivism you will find where the individual's cognitive behavior varies from person to person. One may be very receptive, one may not be so receptive. So the reception capacity of the individual varies from person. These all examples I'm giving from in our social context, because you can understand it better. In your book it is not written, but I'm giving you so that you can relate it to your society, you can relate it to your environment, to around yourself. You can see these things. It happens because what is true in Bhubaneswar in India is not true in Singapore, in Thailand, or even in Dubai. So the cultural difference are also important. According to your culture, your cognition also develops. Because we know what is right and wrong in our society may not be right and wrong in another culture. So these are all subject to the cultural influence. The last but not the least is interactionism. That is the interactional process. When you interact with another individual, when you interact with another group, when two groups interact among themselves, there is an impact of the interaction, which you will find that this particular behavior, these are four different things, four different theoretical part on which we mostly depend on the middle range theory. Here you will find, you in your study material, it is given the major psychological theories and their relationship to the social psychology. It is given in a tabular form where you can analyze. I can just explain from that table so that when you'll read, you can understand that. The psychoanalytic, cognitive, and behavioristic approach, the theory, the relationship with the social psychology. First, you will find the psychoanalytic theory, it is the individual in the society. How the individual reacts in the society. What is the position of the individual in the society? That is what is the individual in the society. Then you'll find the individual in the society, the model of man, that is hemovalence. Hemovalence means the striving man. The man is striving. Man is trying to adopt various things. So it is a striving man. The man is striving to learn new things in life, to adjust to the situation. So it is a striving man. Man as a character of the society rather than its product. It is a character of the society. The man is given in the society. The way we say, it is like a clay, like a soft clay which we give shape. So from this you can understand, if a soft clay is given to you, you give shape to the clay by molding it with a statue or a doll or a face or something which you can make. Better I can explain it to others, those who can understand in Odia. ଆମେ କହୁଛେ ପିଲାମାନେ ହଉଛନ୍ତି ମାଟି ପିଣ୍ଡୁଳା. ମାଟି ପିଣ୍ଡୁଳାକୁ କିଏ shape ଦିଏ? The family, the environment, they give shape to the mati pindula because they are not shaped when they are born. That is why we say that it is a hemovalence. That means the striving man. The man is trying to strive to understand what is happening around the individual, and the man is striving to adopt things which is accepted in the society. So it is a striving man, and it is the creator. The society creates them, but the creator of the society rather than its product. The individual, from culture to culture, you find that the individual are different because depending on the cultural effect, you shape yourself. Okay, so you shape your culture. Okay, yes, you shape your culture, and as you shape your culture, you will find that the society doesn't shape you, you shape the society. Then you'll find the second thing that comes is cognition. Cognition, we can say, it is the homo sapien. Homo sapiens means it is the thinking man. When we describe human being, we say Homo sapien, it means that the individual is a thinking man. Every individual can think, and because one has the capacity to think, he shapes the personality accordingly. How you think, whether it will be accepted by my society or not, whether what I am doing, my parents will like it or not, what I want to do, whether it will be approved by my surrounding or not. This is what is the thinking type of person who can understand and who can say that I'll do it because my everybody is approving it. When someone is doing some good work, we say, yes, it's very good, carry on. So when you pat somebody, gets a positive reinforcement. And that particular kind of behavior, one tries to repeat it again and again. This is what is the thinking type which helps in shaping the individual's personality. The Homo sapiens society is represented in man's experience as a part of his life space. So the individual's thinking process, it gives shape to your personality, and you'll find it creates a part of his life space. Wherever you are, I mean, you are growing, you, depending upon the environment, you put yourself in the way we say, unless you put the shoe, somebody's where the shoe pinches. What does it mean? You can only know when you put the same shoe in your foot. That is why we must understand that the behavior and culture varies from the situation to situation. The third thing which we emphasize is behavioristic. The most important thing in psychology, as you know, the behavior is important, because anything and everything that we face in the environment, it ultimately shapes our behavior. So the behavior is known as homo mechanicus. Homo mechanicus is the reactive man. You cannot do out with behaving in a very awkward way to a particular person. The way you will, every stimulus has a response, right? You must have studied every stimulus. Suppose I'll give you a slap, you will react. Different people will react differently. One may just try to hold your hand, someone may just bow down the head, and another person may just say tears. So the response varies from person to person. So you will find the homo mechanicus means it is the reactive man. The stimulus will definitely have a response, but this response varies from person to person. That is what is behavioristic approach or theory. Coming to the contribution of social psychology, coming to the contribution of social psychology, the psychoanalytic model, what is the contribution to the social psychology? The psychoanalytic model, you'll find the study of personality development and socialism, socialization, the cross-cultural comparison of child rearing, aggressive behavior, and the root interpersonal identification and family interaction. Repeatedly I'm saying, no two person are same, no two environment is the same. So cross cultural means when two different cultures are there. Okay, when we are talking about different cultures, okay, you will find the contribution of social psychology in psychoanalytical studies, the study of psychology, personality development and socialization in the cross-cultural comparison of child rearing, aggressive behavior, and its root interpersonal identification and family interaction. You learn these behavior from your family first. Second, you come from your society. Third, from the culture where you are being groomed. I can give you a small example. You compare the Indians with that of Israelis. You must be knowing Palestinian and Israel, there is a war going on. What is the characteristic of Israeli people? They are very revengeful. They are very dynamic. Okay, they keep it in mind to take revenge. Their attitude is that. So, can you compare Indians with that of Israelis? No. The first thing the Indians have learned from Mahatma Gandhi is if someone is slapping in your left cheek, so the right cheek. So that get another slap, and then also we don't understand what we have to do. So you must understand the culture plays a vital role. Every Israeli, they are dynamic. You go to US, you'll find most of the achievers, they're Israelis, because they're big achievers. They're very, very, strong-minded person. Okay? And that is what is important. Second thing, you'll find cross-cultural. The Oriya people, let us talk about Orissa because we are Oriyas, we can talk about ourselves. Can we compare ourselves with that of Gujaratis? We cannot. Gujaratis, they never fight with people. If two people are going, they'll not fight. First, they'll see from where I'll get the benefit. Why? What is the point of fighting? It will land me nowhere. And you will find if you travel by bus, local bus, you'll find people will sit, they'll start hot discussion among themselves when they get angry. And the discussion will continue from one place to the other, say 20, 30 kilometers, they'll be arguing without any fight. But this is the verbal fighting will be going on. The, the behavior, culturally, it is determined. So the psychoanalytical point of view, you can understand. Because we are reared in a given atmosphere, and even in this particular culture, some of the families, the family where you are being reared, your parents, your immediate environment, they determine what you are seeing every day. Okay, so that is
Madam,
yes.
ma'am, the examples you cited right now, like war, revenge, fighting, can it be considered for this cross culture?
I couldn't hear you properly.
Ma'am, the example of Israel and Palestine, you told about the revenge of Israel people
Yes, it is a
and
cross
war.
cultural.
Uh,
Yes, yes, I could follow now. Now, yes, it is a cross cultural thing. When I'm talking about the different culture, that is a cross cultural thing. If you
okay.
take a group of Indians and you compare them with that of Palestinian, the result that he will get from their attitude, okay, the attitudinal change you can say, or the attitude you are going to test, the Indians and the Israelis, definitely you'll find the difference. Okay, so the environment, what I'm talking is not about what they learn or you are learning or go through the newspaper and the TV news, how the war is going on. I'm not interested about that. What I am exactly meant to say, your environment determines your personality to a great extent. Okay, because you are a blank sheet. You learn it from your environment. What you are learning from your environment, your people around you. Okay, that is what is very important, because once you know that my people who are around me, they are behaving like this, you have learned it, you have adopted it from your family. Some people, they are very argumentative, some people, they are just quiet, some people, they are very studious. These are all characteristic of the individual, right? And all these qualities we inherit or we learn. These are not inherent thing, these are learned thing. We learn it from our environment, from our siblings, from our parents, from our family. Okay, then we go to the society. From society we learn many things, the culture, the custom, the the kind of festival that we celebrate. Then it goes to the nation, the national tendency of Indians. Then when you go to other than India, that is a cross cultural thing. Or even when you cross culturally discuss about various part of India, from south to north and east to west, that's again a cross cultural thing. Okay, then you'll find the cognitive thing. What is the contribution of social psychology to the cognition? The studies of attitude and values, language, thoughts, group dynamics, and action research. Cognition helps in, it studies the attitude. Attitude, you know what is attitude? Values, language, thought, group dynamic, and action research. These are some of the things which the social psychology, it contributes to these areas. To these areas means your language gets influenced by your cognition. You must have seen many of the people, their language is not polished. Why? Some people, their language is polished, right? These are all social factor which helps you in understanding, in communicating and expressing yourself. You will find these are all cognitive development. If you read more of books, if you hear more of mostly reading books, it helps you in developing your language, right? So these are some of the things we develop. That is, the cognitive effect, it gets modified as we go to the value system, what we learn from our society, the language we adopt, our thought processes get sharpened. With the environment, our thought processes also are getting sharpened. If you ask a child of 5 years, they start showing the behavior which they learn from home. You go to somebody's house, you'll find some children, their behavior will impress you because they have learned it, how to communicate with others. Okay? So these are some of the important things that we have, we are contributing in the social field. Then you'll find the experimental, and then comes the behavioristic form. The behavioristic, how it is helpful to the social field, that is the contribution of social psychology to the behavioristic area, is the experimental and theoretical study of socialization, social reward, and punishment. In the behavioristic approach, you must have studied how the behavior is shaped through reward and punishment. If you read, you will find most of the experiments are based on reward and punishment. Reward means when you do something good, you it always doesn't mean that you have to give a chocolate, you have to give a sweet, doesn't mean anything. You just give a verbal reward. Yes, that's wonderful. Yes, that's very good. This verbal patting also will help the individual to go ahead with a positive thing. That is what is very important. You must understand that the verbal reward is also a reward which helps in shaping our behavior. The psychoanalytic, cognitive, and behavioristic approach are shown even in the current status of social psychology. Coming to the psychoanalytic, you will find the psychoanalytic, how it is contributing to the current status of social psychology, it decreasing significance. In social psychology, we give less weightage to the psychoanalytic point of view, which we should give. We are giving more importance to psychoanalytical in the clinical aspect, in the clinical side, or even in in your abnormal area, we are giving more weightage to the psychoanalytical point of view, as if one has to be, I mean, one has to develop behavioral disorder in order to be dealt with the psychoanalytical view. No, psychoanalytical point of view is to a great extent determines your personality. If you understand what is wrong, you can shape yourself to behave in a particular and in a positive way, and that is what is very important. Coming to cognitive and behavioristic, you'll find the maintaining stable significant increasing significantly. Here you will find that the current status in social psychology, both cognitive as well as behavioristic approach, is very widely, and they are being stable, significant, and increasingly they are being becoming significant in our everyday life. Social psychologists, they give more weightage to cognitive and behavioristic aspect. Here you will find that we have ignored one other aspect, that is interpersonal relation or influence of interpersonal thing, which we can discuss that the interactionism includes not only the development of Mead's idea, but also a group of different theory combined under one name, namely the role theory reference to group theory. The individual's role in a group, role theory referring in a group theory, is very important, where you will find interactionalism. That means the interaction between individual to individual, the interaction between the individual with the group, and the interaction between the group and group. That is what is again very important, because we are dealing with social psychology, where we deal with the group, with the society, and with the surrounding where we live in. In this theory, an attempt is made to establish the social determinant of human behavior by introducing the key concept of interactionism, within which the personality is shaped. with this interaction, suppose a small child is, you are saying something and the child doesn't want to do. The child comes and beat the elder sister or even the mother. Now, are you going to reward the child? Are you going to reward? No. He'll definitely say, what are you doing? Stop doing it. You will definitely say, or you may punish in some other way. So that particular thing, from where you are getting shaped, that I have to deal like this with this person. Can you deal the same way? Suppose, take my position. I'm your teacher. So I am being treated by my student in a different way. But when I'm talking to my teacher, can I talk the same way I'm talking to you? I'll definitely be a little more politer when I'll talk to my teacher, right? So there is a difference when you interact with this interaction system, or when you are moving in a sphere that is from person in a group, or group to group, the behavior keeps on changing, and that is what really shapes the individual's personality. Then comes the historical development. Coming to the historical development of social psychology, we have already discussed some of it, like in the initial stage. I talked with you like how Alpert in the year 1924, he published a book on social psychology. Then a manual was being published, right? Then the sociologist in the 1898, he published something on uh, societal behavior. That was a sociological book. But actual social psychology, it evolved in the early 20th century. That is 1900 onwards, social psychology became a separate branch of psychology, where we are dealing with scientific process in dealing with the social situation. Then comes this, we have already discussed. We have also discussed about Sarif in 1935, where he discussed about the social instances, the social norm and conformity by Levin in the year 1939, and the leadership and related group process, which was discussed by Levin. Then we are going to discuss, we have already discussed all these things. I'm just summing it up, okay, for you. We in the beginning, in the introductory part, I've already discussed all these things. The social psychology of the youth, where you'll find from 1940 to 1960, the expansion of scope, every aspect of social behavior included in research. In 1948, a revolution got underway, favoring the concept of human behavior as thoughtful and purposive rather than guided by instinct. Always remember, doing something with your instinct and doing something where you are being guided and the behavior is purposive, that is what is social behavior. Okay, when you are doing something from your instinct, that is not social behavior. Instinct is the innate thing which makes you do something. As you will read further, I don't know, I may teach, I may not teach, someone else, whoever will teach, they'll definitely say that instinct is something which is internally guided. The individual gets satisfaction. It is it is something like you want to do because it gives you pleasure. Okay, it is a pleasure principle thing which is not given by your society. The society doesn't give permission for everything that comes as instinctive. No, that particular activity gets diluted, gets modified in the social context, and then we adopt it as a behavioral part. Now you will find Lewin, his experimental works, due to the effort of Carl Lewin, put social psychology as a science in a more advantageous position in the year 1960. Fully came of age, study of the influence of group and group membership of the individual behavior, the relation between personality trait and the social behavior. Hestinger the theory of cognitive dissonance. All these things I have already discussed in while I was talking yesterday. Okay, these are all summing up things. Then the maturing field of 70 and 80, how the social psychology gradually developed. This is what is the gradual development of social psychology. Coming to 70s and 80s, you'll find the rapid place change of last decade accelerated new topic of perspective emerges, like attribution, how to infer the cause of other behavior, the cause and effect behavior, as I was saying, that every stimulus has a response, like every cause has effect. Okay, so the causation factor, um, we how the cause of one's behavior, the gender differences, and the environmental psychology, growing influence of cognitive perspective. These are the latest trend. Cognition is given so much of weightage in social psychology in the present days. Growing emphasis on application of personal health, legal process, work setting, and education and population studies. I would like to, it is not dealt in detail. I'd like to give you little detail on this. As you will go further as a psychologist in the society, you will find personal health is very important. In the modern days, there is a separate branch of health psychology. I don't know whether you know it or not. In the modern days, in all big hospitals, you'll find there's a post called health psychologist. What is the job of a health psychologist? Now, I'd like to emphasize on the role of psychology in various fields. Now, psychologist has role everywhere, beginning from the birth of a child till a person old age and dying person, and various stages of your life, the individual's various part of development, you will find psychology. Anything and everything is psychology. Okay, now in this sphere I would like to say the personal health is equally important. Unless you are careful about your own health, in the modern days you must have seen, in the middle era, say about go back to 20 years, you'll you can talk to your parents, you'll find your mother, you'll ask, people used to eat good because in India we eat varieties of things, right? You get lot of fruits, you get lot of vegetables, and then you get lot of grains. So we have lot of food materials which many of them that grow it in their own uh, field, that is in the agriculture land, and many they buy it from the market and they eat. If you go to other countries, you'll find there are so many different countries where you will not find such fresh vegetables, fruits like we get in India. We are always complaining. We are in habit of complaining because we say, look at the vegetable. They are so dirty. They are not good looking. They are all unhygienically produced. We are complaining. When you are buying it from mall, do you see from where they are getting it? We don't see. So you will find health is a very important factor which one has to give importance. In the modern days, all the parents have become very conscious. Now we find every day that earlier when my child, let's say you people, all of you, when you were children, you must have taken Ferrex, you must have taken Cerelac, and all these things which were available on the market. Okay, we buy it from market and we feed it to our children. In the present days, you will find that lot of negative things are coming. The milk which we are buying is adulterated by mixing something. Now, what will we do? If it is adulterated, it is the job of the government to see. We cannot take every day, we cannot take a cup of milk and go to the lab to test what is being mixed with this milk. We cannot do that. So the quality testing is important. But in modern days, I find most of the parents, they have become very alert. They are very conscious. and they are trying to stick to healthy things, healthify age. Now, your age is healthify age. Children, because when we were children, we used to go to the field to play. You don't have field play. The field which was there in front of your house, now you will find a multi-story building there, skyscraper, now apartments. Excuse me. That will fetch more money than keeping it open. Okay, you will not find playground. So what the children will do? They are going to the gym, but they're doing it. We cannot go to gym and do these exercises. So the time is changing and people are becoming conscious of their health. Health is a primary thing. And if someone is there to counsel you that you are neglecting your health, you are unnecessarily getting fatty, you are eating lot of fried food, avoid this, take more of fruits. If someone is there to tell you, I think you will be more conscious, right? So the health psychology has become the emerging areas other than social psychology. That is a part of social psychology. But you see, health psychology, your educational psychology, population studies, these are all coming up in the modern era of, excuse me. Then we will talk about from 90s and beyond. 1990 and beyond. Two major trends from the past decades continued, namely growing influence of cognitive perspective and increasing interest in application. Now, applied psychology came to field, and then the cognitive perspective. We are giving too much weightage to cognition, right? We are talking about your thinking, your reasoning, your problem solving behavior. We are giving too much weightage to that in the modern days. Besides the applied area of psychology, what are the application areas? The applied psychology is your, just now I was talking to you, the abnormal psychology is the theoretical part. The clinical psychology is the applied branch. When someone is having a mental problem, you take them to a psychiatrist, right? So the psychiatrist is treating. That is the applied branch. Other than this psychiatric area, you will find there are various other areas which are being applied, like the organizational behavior, where you'll find in every organization there are counselors. Even in college schools, now it is gradually in India they're adapting. In India we don't have so much of we don't give so much of importance to counseling. But in western country you'll find to sit with the counselor for 1 hour you have to pay a lot of money, lot of dollars you have to pay in order to sit with a counselor. So a counselor is a very prospecting thing in life. Okay, so counseling psychology is again applied area. When you are having some kind of problem, you can go and sort it out sitting with a counselor. Then comes, my dear children, if time will be over, please remind me. Okay, please, by 4:25 you remind me. It is 4:25. Okay, all the time I don't see the, now it is 1 hour still left, right? I think I will complete it today. Then comes the evolutionary social psychology, where you will find the changing world, technology, human social behavior, neurocognitive perspective, and social behavior. These are all these areas which has effect on social psychology. And the social psychology is dealing with every aspect of psychology, because we have to take them, we have to bring those psychological effect to the society. Unless it is yielding some effect, what is the point of having those things? Okay, so psychological, all the branches of psychological has its importance on social psychology. Okay. Then we will be talking about the social psychology and other discipline, in which mostly, as I discussed with you in the beginning, that in the initial stage in the 19th century, it was sociology. From sociology, psychology, and there was sociology, and also there was philosophy. Psychology was a part of philosophy, because the people of psychology, they realized that philosophy has to do a lot of ideas of people. We have to give values to the teaching of people. The ideas are diversified. Hence you'll find that psychology became separate science. Okay, so when psychology came out of philosophy, different branches of psychology were opened gradually. From sociology, the psychologists, they realized that sociology studies the societal things. What happens in the society? The job of the sociologist is to study the society, the trend of the society, the guidelines of the society. That is what the sociologists they do. Here comes the role of the psychologist. The psychologist they realize, will sociology be complete without the role of psychology? The social context is coming to your life. That is determining your personality. That is helping you in building your personality. It is helping you to build the individualistic characteristic of the person. So, what happened? We, as psychologists, the social psychologist, it has given importance. It has many things from sociology we have adopted. Other than sociology, anthropology is equally important. As you know, sociology deals with society, anthropology deals with human being, and psychology deals with both human being and society. So psychology has relationship with both anthropology as well as sociology. Hence, you will find the first thing that it comes, there are three levels of analysis. The societal level is analysis is the goal of societal analysis is to identify the link between broad social force and the general pattern of social behavior. The broadly the social context, and then the individualistic social behavior. Suppose there is a particular guideline for a, it is not a guideline, it is no written guideline, but you learn it from your society that you have to do it in a particular way. Okay, we learn it from that, but still you will find there is variation between individuals. Okay, so even among the viewpoint of the social forces, there is general pattern of social behavior. The social behavior from the viewpoint, the you will find explained by the factors like economic, hard time, class conflict, etc. In India, you have so many diversified areas. Caste is a very big thing for which many of us are suffering, right? People have made it a political issue and making everyone suffer for that, right? If you now take the name of the caste, you will be imprisoned. If you say someone as naming a particular caste, suppose they are scheduled caste, and you name the caste, then you may be jailed. This is the system. But the kind of system that the government is adopting, the kind automatically you will feel you have to say, you have to discuss that this person is a scheduled caste. Otherwise, how you are going to give the quota? There's a quota for them. The scheduled tribe, there's a quota for them. So If we take the name that someone is a scheduled caste, that is a very big offense. She rebuked me, she gave some offensive remark to me by saying scheduled caste. But unless and until you mention your caste, how you are going to get the quota? The quota is there for them. Okay? Gradually, there was social, undoubtedly, they were being refrained from many of their rights. And that is why all these things, disparity among the social status happened. But for last 70 years, we are being seen and still they could not come up to the standard level. That is why most of the brain drain is possible in our country. Okay. Now, leaving aside those things, you'll find the social level of analysis, where you'll find that there are many things. Economically deprived people, caste is not the only thing which is important. Economic deprivation is equally important, right? Those who are poor, they are also facing a lot of difficulties. So, the social behavior is determined by so many social factors, you can say, like the sociologist, the economist, and the political scientist. They are being referred, they are analytical. Their analytical approach is adapted by the sociologist, the economist, and the political scientist, because we are dealing with the society, we are dealing with the caste, we are dealing with economic deprivation. That is why they come to the picture, right? So, all these things are important in our life, social level analysis, because there are different class, there are different levels of, people. We have to analyze it accordingly. To study violence in urban areas, social scientists might identify relationship between rate of crime and factors such as poverty, immigration, and industrialization. You can understand it so happened in Bhubaneswar, I can say, that sometimes ago, those, people who come to sell on the street, some goody goody things they bring, they'll come like the Kavadi Bala and all that, they'll come, they'll locate the place, and they'll come some other time and rob your house. This is happening in many places, because in you must have read in newspaper and must have seen in TV about 6 months back. Most of the flats, they were insecure. People sold their house and went to the flat so that they'll have security. But they lived in flat. When they left the house and locked it, asked the watchman to take care of their house, and they went to their village. All on a sudden, people entered there and there was stealing from that house. How is it possible? It is possible because there is class variation and immigration. What is immigration? Now, the Bangladeshis. You must have seen the problem. I mean, associating it in your everyday life. The Rohingyans, they are migrating from different, they are coming by small boats to the areas, and then entering, they are having their basti, and somehow they are procuring their ID card, like Aadhaar card and voter ID card, because of these political people. They are doing it. And then when they don't find, we are unable to provide job to our people, how we will give to them? So, because they do not have anything to do, this is the job they have adopted. So, this is the task by the social psychologists to study what really is causing the crimes in the city. The crimes are caused because of so many factors. The factors are poverty, people are poor, they are unable to. And the thing we can say, poverty is not the only thing. Government is providing them everything. Everyone is getting something to eat, but they are not ready to work anymore. They have learned that we can sit and get chawal and we will eat. No need of working. No need of going to the going and working hard on the field. That is why you don't get even a single laborer to call them and pay them, and they'll come and work in your house. You'll not get them because they're not ready to do. They're saying, why should I do? Under such hot sun, why should I work? Because I'm getting food to eat. If you'll not get anything to eat, you'll definitely go and work, right? So these are some of the causes of various social events like crimes. Okay? Now, then we will come to individual level analysis. This is the societal level analysis where the society is explaining these are the causes of various kind of response in the society. Coming to individual level of analysis, you'll find the level of analysis is used by clinical and personality psychologists who explain behavior in terms of person's unique personality characteristic and life history according to the viewpoint. With the help of personality traits and motivation, the reason of people's behavior can be explained. Now, what is that? The personality trait and motives of the individual. Its reason can be explained by the behavior through what? Their personality trait. Why the person is behaving in a particular way, what motivated the individual to behave in a particular way can be explained by the behavior, and we can analyze the personality factor of the individual. Now, because we are going to the individual level, we have to see to the personality. Now, you will find there are many good peoples. We can't say that everyone is corrupt, everyone is, doing illegal things or making crimes. No, most of the people are good. That is why we have, still date, we are much better than many of the other states, right? In Odisha, Odia people are much peace loving than compared to, you could compare yourself with that of Uttar Pradesh, you can understand what was happening about 10 years back in UP. You must have seen the dawn of UPs, those who were inside the jail. The jail was being dictated by them, right? And Odisha is much better and much peaceful. Still crimes are there. We cannot rule it out that there are crimes. Sometimes even the intruder, outsiders, they are coming and they are creating some kind of problems in the state. But usually Odisha is a peaceful state. Then you'll find the personality trait and motives, reason of people's behavior can be explained. Individual differences in childhood experience, ability, motivation, and personality are emphasized. At the level of the analysis, the violent crimes will be explained in terms of unique history and characteristic of the criminal. Just before this, I told you that childhood experience plays a vital role in building the personality. That is why we give so much weightage of rearing the children in a cool, comfortable atmosphere by the child. If a child will be reared in an atmosphere where all the time parents are fighting, the father is drunk, the father came at night and beat the mother, the child is seeing everything. Okay? The father feels that the child doesn't understand anything. Even a small child understands it. Something wrong. These people are not pulling on bail. What will happen to me? The child is not concerned. What is happening to you? The child is concerned if they are not pulling on bail, what will happen to me? Because the individual wants to be in a protected environment. So the childhood experience is very, very important for the individual. Then you'll find interpersonal level of analysis. Could you get my point or not? First is the social, then comes individual, and third comes is the interpersonal relationship or level of analysis, interpersonal level of analysis, where you'll find the focus of social psychology lies as a person's current social situation, the constituent of social situations are the other people and their attitude and their behavior, their relationship to the individual. Now, what is the environment? What is the current social situation? How the people they interact among themselves? That is very important. Where you are living in, whether it is a conducive environment. Suppose you are in a joint family, and when you return from school, usually children they run to their grandparents they go instead of their parents, because parents they are tired whole day. Their reception and their grandparents' reception is different. So usually children they love their grandparents because they have only to give you loves, right? They can give you abundance of love. That is why children are very, very much attached to their grandparents. And you will find that they like something where love is being spreaded. Okay? The emphasis is based on idea, change, the social context, individual will change. To understand the violent crime, social psychologists might consider the interpersonal relation. One social explanation suggests that frustrating situation make people angry. Little while ago, I was saying frustration when instigated triggers to anger. So frustration usually leads to anger. And you will find the frustrating situation makes people angry and increases their tendency to act aggressively. You must have seen in Western country, especially in America, gun is very common. That is legalized. Every even child can keep a gun. They take gun to their school. What is the point? Why should a child take a gun to school? That is why a child doesn't understand what is life and death. Will he understand? No. That's why we must have, if you turn the newspaper, you'll find in US, often it so happens that a person will take out this gun and shoot 5, 6 persons in a mall, in a school, in a social gathering. They do it because it is a fun. Killing people is a fun. Let us leave aside US example. Let us take the example of Naxalites. What do they do? I must tell you, because certain things we are not supposed to give you example, but I always give. These are the truth of life, and the psychologist must tell the truth. Now, most of the Naxalites you'll find they're young, very young boys and girls of their teenage. That is a volatile age. Okay? Now, everything thrills you. If a young boy of 15 will given with his 10 gun, you can operate this like a 10 gun like this. It is thrilling. When you take a gun and you shoot the target, you enjoy it. And if you can kill somebody, that again gives you, because that is your motto. You have fixed your motto that you have to kill these people. Whom they kill? They kill the poor people, those who belong to themselves. The tribal people, deprived people, they kill only their own people because they cannot go. What is the ideology behind their, psychology? What is their ideology? They want equality. Will there be equality in the society? You will sit in your house, will not do anything. You will not go for cultivation or to work anywhere. Why don't you study? Now, we study in order to complete your master's. A person must be getting around 20 to 23 years for passing in master's, right? So you have worked hard to get this degree. They don't do anything. They are all drop out of class 4, class 5 because they have nothing else to do. They were just loitering in the village. And some attractive thing was being shown by some people who became their ideals, and they run after them. Ultimately, they turn out to be criminals. Okay, so that is the criminal psychology. When some kind of, reward or fascinating thing will be shown in committing a crime, then people will not hesitate committing crime. Now, what fascinates you? The mark. Suppose you get 90 out of 100, that fascinates you. Yeah, I got highest in my class. That will fascinate you. You will never feel like I pushed somebody, she fell down and she something serious injury. You will never like it. Will you do that? You will not do it, because that is the ideology. Before them, there is nothing shown to them. They are being misled, and the youth are being misused in this way. Okay? So, this is what is the interpersonal level of analysis, where their motivation is being channelized in some other way. Some big attraction is being shown to them, that if you do like this, you will be rewarded with this. Okay? Your boss will reward you. Who is rewarding? You are living in a dense forest. Most of them suffer from malaria. They die in the jungle, and there is no one. They don't see even their family people. So you can understand, if you make that as your ideology, then you will land up in a criminal field. Okay? All these are contributing to your social psychology. Then we will be talking about amalgamation of sociology and psychology. I have already, from the beginning, I have been talking about sociology and psychology. The first thing that came is sociology, because sociology is the primitive thing, where the sociologists tried to study these social issues. Okay? Human beings are basically social by nature. Okay? No human wants to live alone. Suppose you will have a big palace in an island, very beautiful palace. Everything is given there, okay? But no human being are there. Can you stay there? Even for one day, can you stay? You cannot stay. Because what exactly you need is, you need to socialize with somebody. You need to communicate with someone. If I am enjoying my life, it should be shared by someone else. If I am getting troubled, someone else should know and help me, and I must communicate it. If there is no one, what will I do? I will forget my language also, right? So no one wants that. Basically, human beings are social. From the primitive age, you can see, then when the human beings were living in jungle, in the primitive age, they were living in groups. Okay? So from the very beginning, human beings are social by nature. So the social sociology came from there. Okay? The society, group philosophy, that came from sociology. After the psychologists, they realized that whatever we are doing in a group, or we are involved in the group, and we are talking, we are doing, we are showing everything in the group. So the group is important. And what is this group? This is my social group. You have different social group. As a student, you have your friends, your friend group. Then you have your play group. Okay? Then you suppose you learn music, you have another group. You have been, you are having so many different groups. You have identity in different group. And all these groups, they have influence on you. They are influencing you. So they are also modulating your personality. They are influencing your personality. Okay? So the amalgamation of sociology and psychology is that the social system, that is the group, institution, culture, families, etc., are the main thing of sociology. For a sociologist, the basic unit of analysis is the group, institution, culture, and family. What is the main thing of a social psychologist? For a psychologist, the basic unit of analysis is the individual, not the social, the social system or the group or institution is important, but it is important considering the individual. The individual in that particular place is important for you. So we are emphasizing on the individual, their emphasis is on the group. Okay, so that is the basic thing. And when they merge together, when sociology and psychology they merge together, we come up with social psychology. Various views gave birth to two forms of social psychology. That is, the first is the psychological psychology, psychological social psychology, and the second was is sociological social psychology. What is that? This psychological social psychology, it means from the sociological point of view, social psychology is the study of mass phenomena. Social psychology deals with the mass phenomena of psyche. Their mental set is known as psyche. Their psyche. The psychology of classes and large social group element of group mentality, that is the tradition, the moral, the customs, etc. The psychological social psychology puts the individual, the psychological social psychology puts the individual at the center, the individual at the center, and focuses on the mental peculiarities, or you can say the individual in the center, the mental peculiarities of the individual, that is the personality type, and the position of the individual in the collectivity. Briefly, this can be defined as the psychological social psychology and the sociological social psychology. Here in two different things, one is emphasizing on the group, that is the society, the other is emphasizing the individual in the group. Okay, the difference you could get. Then, while talking about the psychological social psychology, the subject of mental process, disposition, experiences, and immediate social situation, the psychological position of the individual in the immediate situation, that is what is the psychological social psychology. Whereas the sociological social psychology deals with, it emphasizes upon the subject's place in social order. The individual has an order in the society, the leader of the group. In the society, there are different hierarchy, right? Suppose the social order, I am a teacher. I am the head of your class, okay? Now this is my social position. Your position is below me, that is, you are my student, okay? All of you, the 22 students who are sitting, you are under me now, okay? This is what is the sociological social psychology, okay? The social context and your position is equally important. The role varies depending upon the social position. Another approach emphasizes the synthesis of both, that is, the point of view of social psychology is a science of study both by the mass mental phenomenon and the position of an individual in the group. What position you are holding? Suppose a group leader, the position is different. Her position, she will behave in that way as a leader. The individual will say. It includes the study of social psychology of the individual, communities, and communication, social relation, and the form of cultural activities. Depending on the social role, you will behave according to the social activities. Then comes your interdisciplinary versus intradisciplinary approach to social psychology. What is inter? What is intra? Interdisciplinary means psychology with sociology, psychology with anthropology, psychology with economics, with political science. That is interdisciplinary. What is intra? Psychological system within the psychological field. That is the intradisciplinary. It is within the group. Inter is amongst the group. Intra is within the group. Okay. So you will find the interdisciplinary action emphasizes on incorporation of significant element from various discipline. From different discipline, we are saying it is interdisciplinary, especially sociology. Interdisciplinary approach conceptualize the social psychology as a specialty branch within the discipline of psychology. It is a special area where we mostly deal with sociology as well as anthropology. To a great extent, we also deal with anthropology because linguistic, their culture, it comes from anthropology. Anthropology deals with human being, so they deals with the culture, their language, their communication. These are from anthropology. Okay, so both sociology, psychology, and anthropology, to a great extent, they are interconnected. Okay, then you'll find from the intradisciplinary perspective, the social psychology is defined as the psychological study of individual. It is a psychological study of individual related to the social system where you are living in. That social system is defining your psychological study. Your psychological study is being studied in the social system. The social psychological phenomenon can be explained on at least 4 levels as given below. The first is personal attribute. Psychological behavior can be given in 4 different ways. That is personal attribute. Second is actual situation in which the psychological phenomenon is studied. The place where you study the situation. The third one is reference to the people's social position. Earlier I said the social position is important because the position in which you are holding, it determines some of your behavioral thing, like how to behave in that particular role. As a teacher, I have to behave in a particular way. I cannot behave with you the same way as I'll behave with my teacher or with my mother-in-law or with my mother. I cannot behave the same way with my students. Okay, so the cultural, this environmental thing, it influences the reference of people's social position. It influences your behavior. Then comes ideologies and belief system in which they adhere. Suppose the individual is identifying to one group, that is group ideology. The group ideology where the individual is identifying himself or herself to, the behavior will vary because he or she is adhering to a particular group philosophy. Okay, and he'll automatically your behavior will be shaped accordingly. If one looks at the recent development, many will find that all of them, that is, transcend a narrow definition of social psychology. All these things they derive, they are produced from social psychology. All of them require that their proponents be versed in one or more neighboring discipline like sociology, cognitive psychology, together with anthropology, political science, philosophy, linguistic, because language is a very important area of expression. The social activity can only be studied by your expression, by your language. So, linguistic is equally important. That is why I said that anthropology plays a crucial role because they go for this linguistic thing. So, then you will find the social psychology and sociology. We will go to different sphere how they are being studied. Social psychology and sociology. Now, sociology is defined as the study of society. It is a study of the society, whereas you will find the social science dealing with social system structure, relationship, institute, an entire society. Okay? Whereas the social psychology, as John Miller and mm, August Comet and others, they define psychology as human social psychology by ascertaining the human social cognition and behavior could and should be studied scientifically like any other natural science. Earlier, we were saying that it is a scientific study of behavior in a social context. We were saying that. Here, the definition, gradually they are improvising and they are saying, no, it is not only social behavior, you have to include cognition, the cognitive behavior of the individual. Now, you find that the cognitive aspect of behavior, it is making the difference from person to person. Why the individual difference is there? Because of your cognition, because of your thinking process, because of your problem solving attitude. Okay? So that is why they say that the human social cognition and behavior and should be studied scientifically like the other natural science. Like physics, chemistry, biology, you should study them, the cognition, in a scientific process like natural sciences. The sociologists begin with the domain of society, works towards the individual, while the social psychology reverse the order. As far as social psychology is concerned, it is something difficult to demarcate from social psychology, with sharp line as both the discipline invest most of their resources in the ambiguous middle ground. The social psychology exchange free ideas, methods, and models with sociology. Psychology freely amalgate with that of social ideologies. We cannot go without sociology, the sociological ideas, their norms, their mode, the culture. We have to put ourselves in that particular area in order to study social psychology. With the expanding application of social psychology, adopting the other methods like ethnography, qualitative research, more popular with domain of sociology. We have to be very much, we have to be emphatic on the sociological research, the way they are trying to quantify. As you know, in psychological research, we, in order to quantify the research, these are all human behavior, right? Human behavior, how you are going to quantify them? It is being quantified, and then the research data is being studied through statistics. The various kind of statistical analysis is being done on the psychological research. That is how we get the concrete response in specific psychological research. Okay, then comes social psychology and anthropology. The way I talk to you, that anthropology is important in the sense that anthropology deals with human being. They deal with man. What is man? Primitive man, the culture, the evolvement of the evolution of human being, how they have come from various stages to this stage where we are today. Now, all these things are study of anthropology. We don't go back to 5,000 years and then say that human beings were monkeys someday and gradually they developed. That is not a part of study of our science. This particular part, the anthropologists, they do. They try to find out various kind of sorts which they used to do for hunting different animals and all that. These are all behavioral things. Gradually, those things are being refined, and now, from Stone Age, now it has come to the space age, you can say. That is, we are in space age, but they are giving importance to the evolution of human being. Okay, that is the difference. So anthropology is equally important because you have to understand the human being, the linguistic, the language. Suppose you go and do some study with the tribals, their language is different, right? So you have to, their culture. You go to a tribal house, you'll find that is the job of the anthropologist. They go and do it. So when you find in a group, when suppose you are doing a social study research, social experiment, where three, four tribal students are also there. So culturally, their culture is different. You have to take that into consideration going when you are doing the research in psychology. Okay, there you are taking the help of anthropology. There, anthropology comes to your field. Okay, and that is why you will find both psychology and anthropology, they are interdisciplinary and they are um, depending on each other. The main topic of investigation are primitive society, culture, relativism, unity of human species, human diversity, human evolution. Social psychology can make good use of these theories. Social psychologists can take from these theories and use them in the present generation, how it has come up. And knowing all these things, we can proceed with the present. Suppose you will ask a tribal person few questions in your language, they may interpret in a different way. So you have to know, you have to take the help of anthropology while doing the research. And there, the role of anthropology comes. Next, you will find social psychology and sociolinguistic. I told you about the language, which is the communication skill, where you will find the sociolinguistic include the areas of study which connects language with that of society, and discipline uses theories and methods from diverse fields like psychology, sociology, anthropology. All three are related when we discuss about the linguistic or language. Now, coming to the methodology, you will find it is firmly based on observation of actual, preferably spontaneous speech behavior. The studies within the field have contributed in terms of understanding language and behavior of people. You have to understand the linguistic format in order to understand the immediate response. Suppose someone is responding in a particular way, you have to understand how and why the individual is responding in a particular way. Now you can see even in Odisha, you will find, you go to Ganjam, you will find the dialect are different, right? In Cuttack district, the language is different. You go to Sambalpur, there's a different language. You go to Mayurbhanj, there is another language, right? All of them are talking Odia, but the linguistic difference exists, right? So accordingly, you'll find there are many words which may be interpreted in different way. In order to study different culture, we have to get ourselves acquainted with those things in order to study those things, the social linguistic. The study of language contribute not only in terms of language behavior, but the rich data help in building theories. The field of sociolinguistic equality borrows theories from social psychology to draw inference about behavior from the linguistic data. Social psychology is the scientific study of experience and behavior of the individual in relation to the other individual, group, and culture. So, social psychology is the scientific study of experience of behavior. We are studying the behavior, no doubt, of the individual in relation to the individuals and groups culture, where language is the primary part. Okay, you cannot avoid language and then you can study it. So with this, we are coming to the end of this. We still have 10 minutes. Yes, I can again briefly describe you with some of the parts. Like, can I take 1 minute time? I'll just come within a minute. Excuse me. Thank you for taking sparing. I can, the questions unit and questions are there. You can look into the question after the completion of the course. You will look into the question, and if you find anything, any problematic, you can ask me. Everything I have taught you, you can find out. Define social psychology, discuss the nature and scope. It is straight away given. You can write from there. Then write a note on the social thought before the advent of social psychology. Then comes a revolution got underway, favoring the concept of human behavior as thoughtful and persuasive rather than guided by instinct. You will find this answer is also there. The dialogue is there, and you first try it. If you will not get, you'll ask me. I'll cite you from where you'll get the answer. What are the three level of, by doing this, you will find in your study material, there are a lot of things which are given, the space is given. If you study the chapter, I have written everything in the writing material, because it will become easy when you study. If you write, you remember it. Okay, so you read a part of it, 2-3 pages you read, and then the synopsis, you write it in a very short, giving small points. You write, you will see that you will remember the thing. Once you write something, it will be embedded in your memory, and you will get the answer very clearly. You have to study all these things, and next class, in your next, I don't know, they had given me some other paper, but they had not given me the study material. So I refused. I'll not be able to do, because last minute will give, and I don't, I don't feel comfortable like that, because I'm taking a class after maybe 4 years. For last 4 years, I have not taken class, and I was just wondering whether I'll be able to take the class or not.
Ma'am, can I interrupt you if you don't mind?
Yes.
Ma'am, ma'am, I don't know why you're not taking, but I can't feel that you're taking after 4 years. It's so spontaneous. It's
Very, frankly speaking, being my student, I shouldn't tell that. But when I started, I think because of age, I'm pretty old now. I have retired for so many days. Still, I was taking classes. Last 4 years, my mother-in-law fell sick, so I stopped taking any class. I was taking some COVID time. I was taking some online classes, and then I stopped taking class. When I started taking class, I was just wondering whether I'll be able to teach.
you were so flawless. it was.
So in any case, I'm so happy after teaching one chapter, there is no problem. I can actually, we taught the same thing for years together.
At a stretch for 2 hours, you didn't take even a minute
No,
break.
all teachers in government,
That's commendable.
actually in government college, we take 4-5 class a day.
No, but at this age, this is.
So that's what I was also thinking. I was so reluctant. They gave me the developmental psychology part also, they were giving me. I said, they haven't sent any material or anything. You will send it today, and tomorrow you'll ask me to take the class. Last so many years I haven't read, I haven't studied, I am not writing anything. All on a sudden I'll develop it. So they be fault, I don't know. They might have been wrong somewhere. I don't know.
I think you should take, ma'am. It's just a suggestion.
Thank you for your compliments. I feel it is compliment for me,
Thank you.
because I was not very happy. I was thinking that I am unable to teach properly. Next class will be definitely better than this class.
Oh.
Try my best. I don't know when they are going to give me my next class. They had given me some other paper, but I said, if you have not provided me the material, I'm not going to take like that. I still need 4-5 days to go through the synopsis, no?
Yes,
It's just a synopsis.
I can understand.
Still, we have to read, and then, because developmental I used to teach in Chetana, so I was interested, but because they didn't provide me the material, and then they asked me to teach on 24th and 25th, I said, nothing, I'm not going to teach like that. I don't want to be a mockery in the group. That's why I refused. Anyway, thank you very much for the compliments. And
Super class, ma'am.
I enjoyed the class. I don't know how much you enjoyed.
I enjoyed thoroughly.
Okay, I think it's time for us to wind up the class. Always your material is so nice. Earlier, when we used to study, very limited books, 1 to 2 pieces of books were there, and we were 60 some odd students. So every day you have to go ask for lottery, and whoever will get the book will give to one person. One person will make notes of one paper, and then like this we used to do. It was
Ma'am,
tedious.
even now we have all these AI, Chat GPT and all.
Uh,
I just give them the book which number book, and I ask them this is please explain me. So that explains me about the author and everything about the author, and it's good. But yeah, I can understand during your days
very,
would
very
have
difficult.
been,
It was really, really very tough. And in the modern days, things
yeah.
are much streamlined, much better, and the libraries are well facilitated.
Yes, yes.
I was a principal in the college.
Okay.
I always dreamed that I had a dream that I should be like this, structured like this. And I made as much as I could do. Actually, in a college, the beauty is the library. If you have a well-equipped library,
Yeah, yes,
you're done.
correct.
That is very important.
Yes,
Children learn to read,
yes.
and reading room should be a comfortable reading. It should have a reading room.
Yes.
I tried my best to complete these things during my tenure. It gives pleasure when you meet your students. If you are opening your site, you don't see any full face. I just see the face so that they'll feel more comfortable.
Yes.
What's your name?
Lopamudra Raiguru.
Lopamudra. Nice.
Thank you.
Okay.
So, ma'am, we have created one WhatsApp group. If you don't mind, can you share your number so that we can add you there?
My number is not there.
No, we have created the students. We have created a WhatsApp group where other professors are also added their numbers.
You can write 94372.
Yes, ma'am.
Very often I may not respond because I may be busy some other thing.
Yeah, it's
Anyway,
fine.
I try to be 94372
86
83
83.
83
Yeah.
800.
8380. It's 94372 83800.
Right.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for today's learning. Thank you for your time, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. I must thank my student because you have given me an opportunity to open my brain. It was
Pleasure.
all silent and sleepy. My brain was sleepy.
We never forget driving and swimming.
Huh?
We never forget
Like
driving.
it's like that. It's a motor learning, no doubt. But with age, you have to be prompt. Otherwise, you will sleep.
Yes.
Centers they gradually sleep. If you need brain, you will find that unless you are stimulating the areas, they gradually sleep.
Correct.
Why dementia occurs? Why dementia occurs? Dementia is nothing but
Yes,
forgetfulness.
ma'am. Yeah.
It occurs because people they don't revise things.
Yes. Yes.
So after a given age, you feel like silently sitting and not doing the routine work, but routine work it keeps you alive. Keeps you alive. Being a
Yes, ma'am.
psychologist, we shouldn't do this, but we're doing it. So I was just thinking, some of my books I have already donated, and the rest I will give to Chitna. I have planned that I'll give a few books to Chitna. Some of my books, some of my friend has given some books. I'll give to my college so that students will use it. What is the point keeping it with us.
Yeah, ma'am, you can watch. I'm sorry if this class permits or not, but you can watch podcasts now these days. You know, very good psychologists have come up, and
Yeah. Which I get myself engaged in various psychological sessions, but most
you
of
can
the
have
times
a small clinic at home, you know, for counseling. If you,
my student always they say that why you are not earlier I used to take their class, so they'll say, madam, the way you used to teach in the class, you the short things that you say, everything should be given in Facebook. I said, don't make me laugh and talk, okay? I can't take class like that anymore. They'll ask. Anyway, thank you.
thank you, ma'am.
Let's
Thank
part.
you.